For this graph, what we're looking at is income distribution. So what we want to use is this table that tells us here's the percentage of households. We're going to break them into quintiles. Quintiles are fifths, the lowest 20%, second 20%, etc. So what this graph is telling us, and it's before the recession hit, basically this is close to what our income distribution for this country is. So the lowest 20% of households, the lowest 20%, the lowest fifth of all the income earned in the whole United States, that 20% of people earns 3% of all income. This next highest 20%, they're going to earn, out of all the income earned in this country, 9%. The middle 20% is going to earn 15% of all the income earned in this country. The next highest is going to earn 23%, and the highest 20% of all the households in the country earn 50%. So 20% of the nation earns about 50% of all income in the upper end of the income distribution. So what we want to do is we want to be able to take this information and we want to figure out the cumulative percentage. So what we're going to do is we're going to say the lowest 3% total, that's 3%. If we add in, and we're going to have the lowest 40% of households, we're going to say, okay, for the lowest 40%, they earn 3% plus 9%, so that would be 12%. So if on the homework this was the table that you were given, and it said, what is the lowest 40% of all households earn as far as a percentage of income, you would do the 3% plus the 9%, and you would get the 12%. Okay, if we wanted to continue this accumulation here, we're going to take this 12% and add to it the middle 20%, which is 15%. So 12 plus 15 would be 27%. So we could say then that the lowest 60% of households earn 27% of the total income earned in the country. If we add the next group in here, okay, we have 23% for the next highest 20% of households. So we add 23 plus 27, that's 50. And then once we get to this highest 20% of households, that's got to equal to 100. Okay, this number is always going to be 100 because it includes everybody. Okay, so what this curve down here is called our Lorenz curve. And we have on here what's called the line of equality. The line of equality, here we're looking at the cumulative percentage of income, that's this column here. The cumulative percentage of households, that's this column here. So what we're doing is we're going to say the line of equality says if everybody had the same exact amount of income, that's what it would look like, the line of equality. Okay, so here we have 20% of households. If we come up here, we had 3% for the lowest 20. So this, if we extended this over, that would be 3% there. Okay, so if we're over here at 40% of households, the cumulative percent, this Lorenz curve is doing the cumulative impact here. So at 40% of households, this number, if we extend it over, would be 12%. So 40% of the households, the lowest 40% earns 12% of all income. So if we had 60%, we could see this would be 27, 80%, this is 50, and then when we have all of the households, we now have 100%. So if you had a graph like this, and obviously the numbers would be different, here's 100% of all households. If you asked what the upper 20%, you would take whatever this number is, the 100 of course, and let's say that this was at 60, it would be 100 minus 60. Okay, it would be there, but anyway. So you would say that the upper 20% of households would earn 40%. So it would be the 100 minus whatever, in this case it's 50, so 100 minus 50, they earn 50%. Hopefully that made sense. So that's how we use the Lorenz curve. The further the Lorenz curve is from this line of equality, the less equal is our income distribution. The closer the Lorenz curve is to the line of equality, the more equal it would be. That means everybody would have a more equal share of our income.